This table you are shaking. This table you are shaking. People will fall and window.
Chairman, sir.
How are you?
You use us to get your vote. Bad road, you still dey post.
Come back and ask for vote.
Free food,
Vote for me.
free house,
Vote for me.
free wife,
Vote for me.
even free air.
Vote for me.
This table you are shaking. This table you are shaking. This table you are shaking. There are people on top of.
That's what they do.
This table you are shaking. This table you are shaking.
Attire.
This table you are shaking. People will fall and window.
Sister Carol can sleep for days. Her makeup is hot like fire. True, she's not a scammer. 10 months, she's yet to pay. Brazilian, she get am. Peruvian, she get am. Indonesian, she get am. Even Afghanistan, she get am.
This table you are shaking.
Shey, you dey like girl.
This table you are
Omo, you
shaking.
want to see you? Calm down.
This table you are
Maybe na
shaking.
see you or you no like.
There are people on top
Maybe na
of.
you I said.
This table you are shaking.
Auntie, have you paid for your week?
This table you are shaking.
Play on credit.
This table you are shaking.
Do your
People will
thing.
fall and window.
But yeah, how you dey? I see say you dey cook some rice. Why you can't dey tight your face? You hear my voice, you hide your plate. I soak garri, you drink am. I make semo, you shop am. My fake jersey, you wear am. Even my last money, you spend am. You want kill am? Why now?
We are shaking.
Bro, now for you. Now by force. We can't pray you be
We are
there.
shaking.
Guy
There
now.
are people on top of.
All these parasites moves
We
there.
are shaking. This table we are shaking.
I bet
This
free
table we
guy
are
dey go your
shaking.
house.
People will fall and window.
Shake, shaking the table. Everybody carry your table. Shake, shaking the table. Everybody carry your table. Shake, shaking the table. Everybody carry your table. Shake, shaking the table. Everybody carry your table.
This table we
Calm
are
down
shaking.
now, why you dey para? Na only your table dem
We are
shake.
shaking. This table we are shaking. There are people on
Abeg cool
top
down
of.
jare.
This table we are
One table
shaking.
go. Make you carry
This
table.
table we are shaking.
Call carpenter. Na only
This table
carpenter
we
fit
are
fix this
shaking.
table.
People will fall
So make you
and
just buy another table. Bros, just buy another table.
Donga.
Oh, but wetin you dey do for here now? Omo, no be small thing, no. You know wetin Junior tell me? He say,
Uncle, I know some people. Every day they like to bubble. Landlord, they know they settle. Every night na green bottle.
Wow.
Stick meat,
3,000.
goat meat,
5,000.
fresh fish,
7,000.
salary.
20,000. This table we are shaking. This table we are shaking.
oh my
This table we are
God.
shaking. There are people on top of.
For what?
This table we are shaking. This table we are shaking. This table we are shaking. People will fall and window.
Chairman, sir.
How are you?
You use us to get your vote. Bad road, you still dey post.
Come back and ask for vote.
Free food,
Vote for me.
free house,
Vote for me.
free wife,
Vote for me.
even free air.
Vote for me.
This table we are shaking. This table we are shaking. This table we are shaking. There are people on top of.
That's what they dey do.
This table we are shaking. This table we are shaking.
Attire.
This table we are shaking. People will fall and window.
Sister Carol can sleep for days. Her makeup is hot like fire. True, she's not a scammer. 10 months, she's yet to pay. Brazilian, she get am. Peruvian, she get am. Indonesian, she get am. Even Afghanistan, she get am.
This table we are shaking.
Shey, you dey like girl.
This table we are
Omo, you
shaking.
want to see you? Calm down.
This table we are
Maybe na see
shaking.
you or you no like.
There are people on top
Maybe na
of.
you I said.
This table we are shaking.
Auntie, have you paid for your week?
This table we are shaking.
Play on credit.
This table we are shaking.
Do your
People
thing.
will fall and window.
But yeah, how you dey? I see say you dey cook some rice. Why you can't dey tight your face? You hear my voice, you hide your plate. I soak garri, you drink am. I make semo, you shop am. My fake jersey, you wear am. Even my last money, you spend am. You want kill am? Why now?
We are shaking.
Bro, now for you. Now by force. We can't pray you be
We are
there.
shaking.
Guy
There
now.
are people on top of.
All these parasites moves
We
there.
are shaking. This table you are shaking.
I bet free guy go your house.
People will fall down.
Shake, shake, shaking the table. Everybody carry your table. Shake, shake, shaking the table. Everybody carry your table. Shake, shake, shaking the table. Everybody carry your table. Shake, shake, shaking the table. Everybody carry your table.
This table you are shaking.
Now why you dey para? Now only your table then shake.
This table you are shaking. There are people
I
on
bet who
top.
down Jerry.
This table you are
One table
shaking.
go. Then carry
This
table.
table you are shaking.
Call carpenter. Now only
This table
carpenter
you are
fit fix this
shaking.
table.
People will fall
So make
down.
you just buy another table. Bros, just buy another table.
Landlord, they know they settle. Every night, na green bottle. Stick meat, 3,000. Goat meat, 5,000. Fresh fish, 7,000. Salary, 20,000.
This table you are shaking. This table you are shaking. This table you are shaking. There are people on top. Oh. This table you are shaking. This table you are shaking. This table you are shaking. People will fall and window.
Chairman, sir.
How are you?
You use us to get your vote. Bad road, you still dey post.
Come back and ask for vote. Free food, vote for me. Free house, vote for me. Free wife, vote for me. Even free air, vote for me.
This table you are shaking. This table you are shaking. This table you are shaking. There are people on top. Oh.
That's what they dey do.
This table you are shaking. This table you are shaking.
I tire.
This table you are shaking. People will fall and window.
Sister Carol can sleep for days. Her makeup is hot like fire. True, she's not a scammer. 10 months, she's yet to pay. Brazilian, she get am. Peruvian, she get am. Indonesian, she get am. Even Afghanistan, she get am.
This table you are shaking.
Shey, you dey like girl.
This table you
Ah,
are
omo, you
shaking.
want ask me? Calm down.
This table you are
Maybe na
shaking.
see you or you no like.
There are people on top.
Maybe na
Oh.
you I said.
This table you are shaking.
Auntie, have you paid for your
This table you are shaking.
play on credit?
This table you are shaking.
Do your
People will
thing.
fall down window.
But yeah, how you dey? I see say you dey cook some rice. Why you can't dey tight your face? You don't face you hide your plate. I soak garri, you drink am. I make semo, you chop am. My food just
You wear am.
even my last money,
You spend am.
you won't kill am. Why now?
We are shaking.
Now for you,
This table
you
you
feel
are shaking. There are people on top.
all this parasite
This table you
food
are shaking. This table you are shaking.
I bet
This
free
table you
guy
are
dey go your
shaking.
house.
People will fall down window.
Shake, shake, shaking the table. Everybody carry your table. Shake, shake, shaking the table. Everybody carry your table. Shake, shake, shaking the table. Everybody carry your table. Shake, shake, shaking the table. Everybody carry your table.
This table you are shaking.
Now why you dey para? Now only your table then shake.
This table you are shaking. There are people
I
on
bet who
top.
down Jerry.
Correct. This table you are shaking. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. Thank you for joining us on this webinar, The Business of Creativity. Graham, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. My name is Wayne Smith, and I work with the Enterprise Development Center, and we're the Enterprise Center of the Pan-Atlantic University. And what we are committed to doing is training entrepreneurs all over the country and indeed Africa to become better entrepreneurs, build their capacity, and become more profitable. So before I get into the business of today, I'd like to tell you about a cool new program that we have in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation, Young Africa Works, and Enterprise Development Center. So this program is called the Transforming Nigerian Youth Program, and we want to create 40,000 jobs every year for 5 years. So that's 200,000 jobs. We want to transform the mindset of youth to make them think that you don't need to finish from school and go join the unemployment pool. You can create your own job, become your own boss. And it's really easy. All you need to do is visit reg.smetoki.ng/be transformed. You apply and you start taking the lessons. We have dramatized the different courses: customer service, financial accounting, legal, ethics, name it. It's on there. And what's more important is that you're going to learn for free, no cost. Every week, you get your data sent to you, and you can learn for free on the go wherever you are. You can also learn in the language of your choice. Pidgin, English, Hausa, whatever you want to learn in, it's available. If you also want to dial a short code to learn, you don't have a laptop, it's not a problem. All you need to do is dial a short code, and then you can start learning on the go. But I'll just introduce my colleague, Graham Echo, who will be moderating this session today. We'll talk more about the Transforming Nigerian Youth Program afterwards. Remember, this is a highly interactive session. If you want to talk to the guest, ask a question, please make use of the Q&A box, and we will bring it to the fore. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Wayimi. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this session of the business of creativity. Just to be sure that we are not alone in this place. If you can hear me loud and clear, just type yes in the chat box. Just chat yes. You can click on the discuss button and type yes. I can hear you, so that we know that we are together. Okay. Wayimi, I see you. Okay. Olawale, Stephen, I see you. Okay. Frank, I see you. Fantastic. So we are not alone. We are not alone. Awesome. Great. Okay, so this is a series that we are going to be doing on the long run. The idea basically is to help, inspire the youth, help them know that they can create jobs, help them know that they can start up something on their own. And then we are starting this off with those in the creative sector. And then we decided that there's no other person to bring, to inspire people other than someone who has done it all in the sector. From fashion to photography, to music, to filmmaking, to comedy, everything, arts and craft, he has done it all. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the one and only Frank Donga.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Please say hello to your people.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know why we're here. No time to be Dali or merry-go-rounding. Maybe you are creative. How do we turn your creativity to make money? Because don't tell anybody. Nobody send you. You better work for yourself. Everything about being brain. And with brain, you have to put sense in it so that we can make money. That's why we're here today. Fire them fast.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Frank. Okay, so for the fact that you are here, it means that you have either started something in the creative industry or you are intending to start something. So you can type in the chat box where you play. If you're a photographer, you're a filmmaker, you are a fashion designer, just type in the box, just type your name and then where you play. If it's photography, if it's movies, whatever it is, just type it in the chat and then we'll go from there. Okay, so Sir Frank, let's begin from the beginning. The guys here, some people see their talents as just hobbies. They don't really know how to transform this into business. For you, you studied Agric. you have a BSc in agri science, a master's degree in animal genetics. How did it all begin for you? How did you transform from being someone who studied agriculture to entertaining all of Nigeria? How did it begin for you?
Thank you very much, Mr. Graham. It's a pleasure to be here today. Like you said, rightly, my background is in agricultural sciences and also followed my education by pursuing a master's degree in animal genetics. How did entertainment all start for me? Right from when I was young, a little child, growing up, in the household, I would always watch comedy, cartoons. I loved funny things. I loved to see people happy. I loved to make people happy. And that stayed with me all through my years in secondary school and the university. In fact, in university, I was one of the clowns of the class. Even though I was very quiet and reserved, but I would make impressions of my lecturers whenever they came late for classes or they were absent. I'd be one of those guys standing in front of the class and doing the impression of the lecturer. People would laugh, I had a serious side to me slightly. I wouldn't exactly say I'm a typical bookworm, but I loved to read. I loved to research. That was me. So how entertainment? So if you put all I've said in the context, I always enjoyed creative processes, even the agriculture I went into. Before I went to school for agriculture, I planted tomatoes in my backyard, planted onions, melons, little things like that. I love to see how things became something out of nothing. I love to watch that process. I always watched documentaries as a little boy. Always watched National Geographic. I always read biology textbooks. I just loved the process of life and creation. So that informed my interest in the creative process. I love to watch how things are made, how industries work. So I got my first job in Lagos, funny enough, in the media as a journalist. There wasn't much required. It was just write an essay telling us why you should be part of us as a journalist. I wrote my heart out why I wanted to get the job, and I was invited for an interview. Fast forward, I got the job, and the me came out in the process of my work. I would always look for ways to make work fun. I would always look for creative ways to make difficult tasks easier in the office. I would always challenge the status quo. Why do we have to write this like that? Why can't we write this like this? Because this is easier or faster or better. My brain was always thinking of how to do things better, quicker, more efficiently, nicer. That was me. And one day, I thought about why are people always scared about interviews? Anything interview, people they fear. Job interview, now fear. You want to meet your in-law, now fear. Visa application, that one now die. And it cuts across. I go say, okay. I had seemed at that time to have mastered, I thought to myself, a few techniques of acing interviews. And the first one I thought was just relax, be yourself. You are bringing something to the table, isn't it? If you are not there, you can be afraid. Do your homework. Find out about the person who wants to interview you. Find out about what they need you for. Then make sure you have what to offer in terms of skill, knowledge, experience, something to offer at the point of job interview. For example, there's no point me going for a pilot job interview. I can't fly aeroplane. The only aeroplane I can fly. Okay, I can actually fly aeroplane, but the one they use paper to make, that aeroplane, that's the one I can fly. Anything apart from that, don't trust me. If you see me at the cockpit holding this aeroplane steering, please collect parachute and dive out. I repeat, dive out. Don't trust me with aeroplane. I can't fly aeroplane. I was not trained to. So I won't apply for that kind of job because I can't bring anything to that particular job at the table. However, if I've done my research and I think there's a problem in that sector and I have the answer and I've tested and I've thought about it, I've consulted, I can, think of solving a problem in that way. And that was what led to me thinking, I need to do something about why people are so scared of interviews. So fast forward again, I ended up with a few friends of mine, Mohammed Atta, Femi Angbeton. We worked in an online TV platform then as creators, cinematographers or videographers and editors. And I would casually say things and they would laugh. And that was how I created my very first kit as a solution to what I saw as a problem.
And the creative process was just me sitting down in front of a camera, becoming the person I don't want my audience to become. If you don't prepare for job interviews, if you are afraid, if you are scared, if you are timid, if you are not confident, this is how you look like. Hence, make sure you don't look like this. That was my intention. I wanted to solve a problem of fear and intimidation and lack of self-confidence and lack of preparation amongst youths and virtually anybody for job interviews or for any kind of interview. That was my aim for doing my very first skit. From the first skit to the second and the third skit, they all went viral and things changed for me from there. So that's not so much of a summary, but that is my journey so far.
and that's really, really very interesting. That's very interesting. But, from what you said, I would like to ask, considering the fact that you had not done that before, you were literally unknown, right? What gave you the confidence that this thing that I am going to do or this thing I'm embarking on is going to sell, is going to go viral? People are going to, embrace it. People are going to love it. What gave you that confidence?
So, nothing. I repeat, nothing gave me the confidence. So any successful creative person will tell you, generally speaking, there are no formulas that you say 1 + 1 must always equal to 2. In the creative sector, it's difficult. You know why? Especially when your clients are human beings. If your clients are machines, you know that all factors being equal, if you put an ATM card in an ATM machine, you should get a response from the computer. Easy. But human beings, they can like something today and tomorrow they don't like it anymore. So if you spend all your time and effort and energy learning how to create what they liked yesterday, you're in trouble today because they moved on. So there's really no assurance. Again, I'll repeat something I said when I was introducing how I got into the creative industry. I created a product to solve a problem that I saw. As long as, and for me, that has always been the formula up to now. If you can identify something, it's an easy way to create a solution into it. By the way, I've done a lot of things. I see some people in our chat section, some are introducing themselves as photographers, some are bakers, some are artists, some are, digital marketers. I've done a whole lot of things myself. I was once a photographer, so I'm going to answer all the photographers in here. Please get ready with your questions. I was once a wedding photographer, event photographer. Then I did industrial photography. Then I did aerial photography. I did portrait photography. So I did all of that. And there's a way to make yourself unique. So to answer your question again, I did not really know. I wasn't totally sure if people were going to accept it, but I did what a lot of motivational speakers would have told you several times: follow your passion. I was simply passionate about the fact that too many people were scared of interviews, especially job interviews. And so what I did was I looked for a creative way to tell people how to prepare for job interviews so that they won't look like fools, or so that they won't look like Frank Donga in job interviews. There was no assurance. All I did was follow simple principles like tell a simple story, make it believable, make it relatable. Those 3 things are the cornerstone of the things that guide me in my creative process. And I'm going to repeat it for everybody that is watching. If you are, whatever career you're doing, make it simple, number 1. Make it believable, make it relatable. If your formula or solution or your product is very simple and accessible, if it's relatable, they can relate to it. It's not so complicated, and it's not something from this realm that they can't think of, and it is believable. They will go for it. Apple created simple products. Most Apple phones are very simple. For example, the screen, the back, they're very simple. Even the layout. Most of what Apple, one of the most profitable companies in the world as of 2021, most of what they leverage on is the simplicity, the seeming simplicity of their products and their designs. They look so simple and so easy to work with. That's one of their things. So that was how I started. There was no real assurance, but I followed certain principles.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Make it simple, believable, and then relatable. Because there are a lot of guys out there now. They just have the talent. They do not really know what to do. They do it. They entertain their friends at home. they entertain their families, and all of those things, right? They don't know that, or they don't know the process to follow to make this thing become a business. So for you, do you have like a guide or a step-by-step approach, for turning your hobby or your talent into a business?
Yeah. Over the years, close to about a decade now, I've been in the creative industry. I've earned entirely all my living over the past 10 years from the creative industry. And you would expect that I will have some experience and some formula that I apply that works for me. And that's what I'm going to share right now. So please, if you have questions, feel free to go to the right side of your screen in the chat section or discussion tab. Just click the discussion tab and drop your questions. And if Mr. Graham, the moderator, also has questions from other people, he will let me know. So let's dig in right now. The very first thing before you turn your creative ideas or build a business with your creativity is you have to ask yourself, what are you gifted in or what are you exceptional at? There's no point. Like I told you about me and pilots. I don't have skill in being a pilot. I don't have experience. I don't have anything. Unless I want to start from the scratch or do some kind of thing. I can't just say I want to start being creative as a pilot because I'm not. I wasn't trained for that. So the first thing you should ask yourself, what do you do effortlessly that even if they don't pay you, you are happy to do it? Why? The thing is just gingering you. You wake up in the night, you think about it. When you walk on the street, you can spot it. Let me give you an example. Some people are so gifted with colors and fashion in their brain. Shapes, fabrics, and colors. Those three things. They are the bedrock of fashion. Anything fashion. Ask anybody who knows what they are talking about in fashion. Colors, shapes, and fabric when it comes to fashion. You are the one that notices that the guy's shirt is not matching his cap. You are the one that notices that the fabric of the skirt doesn't work with the top. You are the one who notices that this shape, they should have cut the pattern this way. It would have worked well with that person's shape. You are always complaining about somebody not dressing well, looking good. You might have something there. It's just not about being a critic. So the first thing you need to look at in making a business out of your creativity is, do you actually have that creativity? Is it there? How do you know if it is there? That's the first thing you should do. Check. What are you exceptional at? Some people are exceptional at putting words that rhyme together. They eventually become rappers or they become spoken word artists. Some of them become speech writers. Some people are gifted with vocabulary. So don't think when you're talking of creativity, we're only talking of putting clay and doing a sculpture or standing on stage and doing comedy or carrying a camera and stamping a picture. No. Some people are just gifted. They know how to organize things. If you want an event to flow well, the first thing you should do, put this person to talk first. After that, then put this interlude. Then they just good. They become good event planners. So do that thing, that thing you want to build a business out. Make sure you're actually gifted at it, or you are trained for it, or you are exceptional at it. That is easy. When you do it in front of people that love you and respect you, they will tell you the truth. That is why surround yourself with good people. End of story. That's the first thing. What are you gifted at, or in, or for, or with? Whatever preposition you want to use. Find that thing out. Number 2, prove it. Show us. I repeat, prove it. Show us. I've heard and seen so many people come to me or other folks and say, I'm a good singer, please sign me. I'm a good photographer, please hire me. I know I can dance. Give me a chance. Prove it. Can you really dance? How do we know? You're a good graphic artist. Where is the last work you did? What have you done before? You're a good storyteller. Let's hear your narration. I'm a voiceover artist. Send me a recording. Let me hear your voice and the way you read. Is it soothing? Prove it. Put your thoughts or your passion or your desire or your confidence. Put it into action. Somebody just said, I can't hear anything. Please attend to that person. Somebody just said, Ade Pegba Adeyemi, Isaac, I think that's his name. Said, I can't hear anything. Can you hear me? Please, if you guys can hear me, please type yes. Let me know I'm talking to you. Okay, so Ade Pegba, you are advised to check your audio settings. If you can hear me, folks, please let me know you can hear me. Just type yes. Thank you. So I'll recap. How do you turn your creativity into a business that you can live on? I have done it for almost 10 years. I've lived on nothing else except my creativity. Exclusively. Yeah. Thank you. I can see all your yeses. So the first thing you need to know is, what are you actually gifted or creative at? And how did I know? I kept talking. I told you right from school, I would crack my friends up. Not because I wanted to be a comedian or an actor. Yeah, I kind of liked the idea of being an actor. And I thought, maybe I'll give this a try. But I just did it subconsciously. It was just me. And I did it. I talked. Maybe I will exaggerate when I'm talking. Maybe I'll put facial expressions or gestures. And people will laugh and find it funny and say, this guy, you are killing me. I didn't intend to kill them. So I had proved it. I got feedback. So if you want to be a designer, I didn't say just fashion designer, because this design that we know in this part of the country is only fashion, cut fabric and sew it together. There are industrial designers. Some people can pick a laptop and create another design of the laptop that you say, man, I wish this thing was real. So if you're a designer, put it into drawing, show people, let them tell you what they think. Some people can just look at you and say, I want to design a new kind of broom. You know that long broom that has broom at the other end with long stick? Some people can redesign it and they will give it one kind of twisted handle that will just make it look interesting. Some people can design the lamps that you see behind me. Some people will say this design is boring. Instead of it having this shape here, this shape right here, I can make my own into something else and it will go up like this. You now twist and come out and have to design it, draw it. Let us see. Prove it. That's the second point. 1, what are you gifted at? Ask yourself. 2, prove it by creating samples of it. Send it to your friends. Get feedback. Let them people tell you. You are a good rapper. Record a rap and send it to friends. Let them tell you how good they think you are. So don't just say, I'm a good rapper, I know it, and nobody can tell me otherwise. Well, people have to, because you're going to be rapping for people, people have to enjoy what you're actually doing. Maybe not everybody will tell you they like it, but some people at least have to like what you're doing, what you're creative at, what you're gifted at. Some people have to tell you, man, I will pay for this. This is good. That's the second thing. Number 3, you need to consider what feeds that your creativity. Find out. You know why? I will tell you, because later we're going to get to how to sustain it. If what feeds your creativity is sorrow, there will be a problem. Some people can only write poems that are deep when they are sad. Maybe one disaster has happened to them. I don't know how you're going to make a business out of something like that, because you have to make sure that disaster happens every time you want to get creative. Ask yourself, what feeds my creativity? Some people, it is hunger. When they are hungry, they get creative. That one too is hard. Anyhow it be, ask yourself, what feeds my creativity? Find it. What's your inspirational source? For me, I do social commentary, comedy, and political satire. Or I just call it edutainment. Guess what? I can't run out of inspiration. If petrol scarcity does not inspire me, NLC strike go inspire me, insecurity go inspire me, something, one politician or leader will make a blunder in the news that will inspire me, and I will do a political satire or parody or sketch about it. At all, I will consider the environment, how we talk. I know what inspires the kind of content that I want to do. I know where it is. I did a sketch, a skit about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle a few years ago when they got married. The skit went viral. In fact, I was invited by Facebook UK for permission to include that skit in one of their training materials. And Facebook UK reached out to me and they asked for permission, and I gave them permission to include it. Guess how I created that? And they were asking me, how did you come up with that idea? And I'm talking about the one where, if you go to my Instagram page now, you will see it there. Dr. King was right. We need love. And I said, tell them, Wakanda forever. That particular clip went viral. People in the UK were telling me, I'm not talking about Nigerians in the UK, non-Nigerians in the UK, non-Africans were telling me they watched it, they laughed till tears came out of their eyes. I don't know why they found it funny, but hey, they should have found it funny. What inspired me? I wanted to do a social commentary on the royal wedding. That day, when Prince Harry got married to Meghan Markle, everybody was talking about royal wedding. It was trending. About the scene trended tire. So I said, let me do something about it. Let me jump on this trend. So I went on the internet looking for videos that I can insert myself in to make it look like I went for the royal wedding. Why? Because it had become a conversation that, so on top of all our celebrities in Nigeria and Africa, nobody was invited. Hey, people have started shitting our celebrities on no big reach. That's why they didn't invite you. Ooh. So on the comical side, just to lighten up the situation, I wanted to insert myself in the wedding. So I went searching for a video that will suit that purpose. And that is what I did. I know what inspires my creative process. I know it. I'll search on the internet and look for clips of what is trending, news, and I will make it into that. Mr. Graham, can I still go on, or will we take a break?
Okay, let's take a pause now. Are you also a video editor? You edit your videos yourself?
I'm a video editor, special effects coordinator, animator, and yeah.
I think the question to even ask is, what don't you do in the creative sector? Anyway, but let's just hold that.
I don't lie.
Thank you.
And I don't steal.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, so you have broken this thing down very well. First of all, you have said what gifts do you have? What do you do effortlessly? That is something. And then you have to show that you can actually do what you say you can do. Prove it. Get feedback from people to say, okay, we are validating that you can actually do this thing. And then know your source of inspiration. Is that not so? That makes a lot of sense. Now,
that's correct.
Now you have done all of these things. You know what you are good at. You have been able to prove it that you can actually do it and all of that. The next question will be, how do I start charging for this? How do I charge? What metrics do I look at to charge? Because some people will say, okay, you are a comedian, is it not just to talk, come and make people laugh? And, you are a baker, just do one cake like this. Tell me how much you need for the materials. I will pay for that. And then you do this. Those kinds of, just write me a poem. Is it not just pen and paper? How do you charge for this thing to make sure that you're able to earn something good and live off of it?
Okay, that's very good. Funny enough, your next point kind of just flows effortlessly into my next point. Your question flows into my next point, which is good. So I'll do a quick recap for those just joining us. We've been talking about the business of creativity. You can see it on the top of the screen. We're talking about how do you make a business out of your creativity. And the first thing I spoke about, using my personal examples and my life, was what are you gifted at and what are you exceptional at? And how do you know you are gifted at that thing and exceptional at it? We've talked about that. And I said, you do it effortlessly. It wakes you up in the night. You see it everywhere. You find humor in everything. You see art and photography in everything. You notice color combination on people's clothes. One of the ways to know. 2, you have to prove it and show it, not just in your head. Demonstrate something. Create a sample for people to see so we can judge you by it and say, oh, this is interesting. I will pay for this. So, and the next thing I said, you have to understand what feeds your creativity. If it's fed out of just anger, you're just angry at it for no reason, that might be different. You need to find out that you're actually very passionate and interested in what your creativity is. So the next question is, how do I commercialize my creativity? Which is why we're here. The very first thing I'm going to talk about is ask yourself, who needs that creativity? Who's going to pay for it? You have to find out. For example, I want to make a hat out of water. I want to use water, well water, to start making hats, this kind of hats. I don't even know if that's possible, but ask yourself, if it were possible, who is it for? Who is going to pay for it? And that is simply identifying your target market. Identify that target market. You need to. There's no point running around, finding out what you are good at, giving samples to people when nobody really needs it. You understand? It's like trying to sell AC in Alaska or in Greenland. My man, everybody is kind of cold. You want to bring AC. You say one name, with him that 3 containers of AC, will ship it to Alaska to sell AC. Very cold one with good compressor for Alaska. Man, you are missing the point. You better ship it to Africa and maybe Dubai. That's where they need it, because cold is not their issue there. They have excess of cold. You can't go and be selling hand fan in Canada, in Saskatchewan, or some other cold part of Canada. No, maybe something else, because cold is not really their first issue. Heat is not their first issue in life, unless you want to sell heaters. So the first thing I'm saying is identify who needs what you are trying to make a business. So not all creativity can be turned into business. That's not to say not every creativity can be commercialized, but when I'm talking of a regular business that you can live on. So the first thing you need to ask yourself is, who is this for? Who are the people that will pay for this? If you're a motivational speaker, who's going to pay for it? Sometimes you might need to add structure to what you are trying to sell, your creativity. For example, you know a lot of things about the economy and you love to talk about change and making things better. Put a structure to it. How do I mean? Create a training. You can't just come on Instagram and be talking every time. Package training. Organize it. All your thoughts. Organize your thoughts and your ideas. If you are a speaker, organize them in a sequential and logical order by creating a question. How do you make wealth in 3 months if you live in Nigeria? Trust me, nobody will go see that topic. We no go click on. Identifying redundant stuff in your workplace. If you write a small booklet like that, trust me, all entrepreneurs and CEOs will want to find it. How to avoid wasting resources in your office. I put it into a structure, then create in a logical order. We're talking about identifying who needs what you are selling. For example, if you're a comedian, you know people want to laugh. If you're a musician, you know the people that need that kind of music. So find out. For example, if you sing country music, Nigerian audience might not necessarily be the best set of consumers or the market to push it to. There are other parts of the world that Western and country music are more consumed in the West. Jay-Z and Beyonce are not the only musicians in life. Westlife are not the only ones. Backstreet Boys are not the only ones. There are other musicians from other genres that go platinum, that make millions and hundreds of millions of dollars that we in Nigeria might not know of and we may never know of. If not for a few tracks that cross the border, some people will not know of Dolly Parton or Kenny Rogers. As I'm talking now, there are some people in Nigeria, in Mushin, that might not know Kenny Rogers, but they know Zlatan. You understand? They know Naira Marley. Identify your market. Naira Marley might not carry his music to go and sell to French people, or in Belgium or in France. He knows where his market is and is selling there. So find out the people that need that creativity of yours. You are good with setting bones and you just understand how you love to care for people and take care of people. You might want to be a nurse or go to the health sector for that. So identify who needs your creativity. 3, I said the next one I said put a structure to it. Who will pay for that? The next thing is to create a business around it. And this is where it gets technical. So do I take a break now or do I continue, sir, Mr. Graham?
Okay. So no, we'll continue. Now, that's what I was going to ask now. Where does, building a structure, come in? For people who are creative, for someone who is a comedian, who is a poet, the tendency is just to walk alone. You do your stuff, write your jokes, do this thing, do that. There's no need for you to register as a business. That's what people would think. So what is the place of all those things to ensure that there's a proper structure to this thing? For example, you have been able to work with a lot of big brands. And I am certain that if you were not structured properly, you were not registered, you were not, doing all of those things, those guys will not work with you. Right. So where's the place of structure really in the scheme of things?
Thank you very much for that question. You can't overemphasize.
Before you go on, please, guys, you can post your questions here now. Any question you have, challenges you have, no matter the area it is you are playing, Mr. Frank is here to answer you, right? Please go on and post.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go.
Like I was saying, it's never too early to put a structure to what you are doing in terms of creativity, and if you want to make it into a business. And the first thing you need to know is identity. Identity. Like some of my friends in the industry will say, identity. That identity is important. What do we know you by? What do we call you? What do we refer to you as? That guy that you need a name. And that's the first thing. After you have identified what you are good at, what you are naturally gifted at, what you do effortlessly, the next thing to do is create an identity for yourself. For some people, it might be a look. It might be just always wearing this hat and this black shirt. That's how they know him. For example, Charlie Chaplin. If I say Charlie Chaplin, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? You see a guy in black and white. Those days, no color yet. With this kind of hat, suit, and that's what they call the Hitler mustache. And he has a walking stick. That's his identity. All through his comedy sketches, he never changed it. There are people that if you're in the comedy sector or that kind of sector, you can have that identity. To go along with your identity, in case you're not a comedian, a name is your identity. What do we call you? What name do you want to identify with? The shorter, the easier to remember, the more unique your name is, the better for you. Sometimes, maybe not, your productivity or your creativity can overshadow that. For example, it's easier to say Charlie Chaplin is two ch's, Charlie Chaplin, than to say Arnold Schwarzenegger. That second one is strong. Baba is not even from US. He's from Austria. That's Schwarzenegger. To spell it up to now, if I do a quiz competition, the first one person to spell Schwarzenegger gets a gift. Now, while I go come.
We just pronounce it. We don't spell it. We just pronounce.
We just pronounce Schwarzenegger. If there are some people spell Schwarzenegger and get a job, that's or DJ, are you an actor? Are you his family? You don't spell na. Let me Nigga, Omo, SCHWARZENNKKGGPP, consonant too much. So, but Arnold Schwarzenegger has the body and the Hollywood backing to override his last name. People just call him Arnold, Arnold, the big muscular guy. Then, because they pronounced it very often, a lot of people got used by force to the name. So identity is the first thing, you need to find when you are going to put a business around your creativity. Identity, either your look, your color, or your name, so that we can always remember you, address you by that. The second thing you should do is create, if possible, register the name. CAC, Corporate Affairs Commission. Register the name. It not will cost you too much. It's better. Let me tell you why. There are some corporations or companies or clients you will work with that you will need that name. Sometimes it might be just your name, enterprise or something, but try and find a name around it, what you do. Then that name have social media handles in it. Name. Why is it important? Digital footprint. So that when people search you, things that you have done, places you have been to, works that you have done, people that you have collaborated with, everything can come up. If you type Frank Donga anywhere on the internet, stuff will come up. YouTube videos will come up. Wikipedia will come up. Instagram handles, Twitter handles, this program will come up. It's because of the identity. Imagine you don't know what to call me. Just that guy with the guy way talk say in the fine job. That's how you want to search for me on Instagram, on the internet. It will be hard. Digital footprint. Register social media handles in the name of your business. Start from there. As you are working on your CAC, when you said the guy with the wear pink shirt, type, let somebody try it. Go to Google and type Nigerian guy with the wear pink shirt. Let's see what will come up. I don't think I will be the one that will come up. But that's what I'm saying. Register your business name. You are into bead making, you're a photographer. Somebody says he's a baker. Register a business name in that, and find a sweet name. If you are a baker, please, I know some of you are bakers, you do confectionaries. Depending on your industry, find a name that fits that industry. You understand? Don't go and register pins and needles. And you are a baking company. You do cake. Somebody says, I want a cake. You say, yes, me. Sorry, what's the name of your business? You say, pins and needle. And you are baking cake. I don't know if it will work. I don't know. It's cheaper and easier for you to find a sweet name, like pink jelly, or cake, summer cake, something sweet and delicious.
Something just appealing,
Yeah, appealing. You understand?
You are thinking of it and you are salivating already.
You understand? They don't hear your name. You say, that business, it was sweet, You kind of, I see some business names and I don't want to patronize them. Yes, the business name is so strong, so unfriendly. What? Okay, I don't know if it's a joke. On social media some weeks back, I saw a record label called Blow or Die or something like that. Do or Die. Thank you. When Die record label. As in do or die. Imagine. See, I'll just go home and tell my parents. Thank you for your prayers. I've gotten a record label that signed me up. Congrats. What are they called? Do or Die.
Do or Die.
Enterprise. Do or die. As in, we either blow. Is it that I will die or I must die there? Come on, like. To even introduce you, welcome so and so musician, all the way from Do or Die. It's better you're a comedian. You say Do or Die Incorporated. So people will be interested in that talk. How you take the Do or Die. So that's the thing. If you in that industry find an identity, starting from a name, register the name if possible with CAC. While you're working on that, of course, find an account to go along with it. Once you get your CAC documentation, you can take it to the bank and register a proper account for a business account. Then create social media handles in the identity that you have created. That's the next thing. Social media handles in 2021 are very important. Even if you want to go to some embassies, they will ask for a social media handle. So not be me talking. Then the next thing you need to do is make sure you have records. Your people that have patronized you before have a record. Businesses you have done before have a record, either digitally online or you buy a book and be writing things there. Who patronized you, what you produced for them, how much you charged them, the day you delivered it, how much they paid you. Have a record. You know why? The day you are going to need money or you are going to want to bid for a big job or a bigger job than you have been doing, they might ask you, what have you done before? There are people I want to work with or hire, and I ask them, can you do this? And I say, yes, now I'm a professional. And I say, can I see samples of your work? Nothing to show. Okay, wait, I'm coming. You should have, for example, if you're an editor, you're a cinematographer, you should have what we call a show reel. If you are a photographer or a graphic designer, you should have a portfolio, a digital portfolio where you put samples of your work. Let me tell you a secret. Even if you have not done any commercial work for anybody, create templates. Even if nobody has paid you for wedding party, for wedding video before, carry your cousin, go and shoot her or shoot him with camera in their wedding, record their wedding, edit it, put your name, as the hot production, or hot camera production, or fire lens, or or hot shutter speed, whatever you want to call it, production. Edit it and keep it so that when they say, "What have you done before?" I recorded this wedding.
To show something, yeah.
Open an email. Thank you very much, OJ. That's very correct too. Part of the identity we are talking about. Open an email address in the name of your business. I have frankdongatv@gmail.com. I have frankdonga.com as a website. All those things help you. So if you want to check the legality or the legitimacy of what I do, you can put all those things. You will see the record. So keep record of every business transaction you are doing. So those are the things you need to do before you start thinking big. Or if I want to. Some people have gone far using a random name, only to discover they can't register a website in their name. They can't even create a bank account in their name. They can't open social media handle in that name. Why? Some other people have been using it before they were born. So now you have to change name. You have to go back to all the people that you have worked with and say, sorry, I've changed all my name. Why? Do your research. Pick a name. Search if the name exists. Pick a name that is unique, that people can easily remember. So thank you very much.
Okay. Nelson.
Yeah. Zeno said, I've labored in vain. We will not labor in vain. Yeah. What's Nelson's question?
Is this name a good name for someone that's into comedy? I can't even pronounce it. Just Nels Meister.
Nels Meister. Meister. It's easy for me to pronounce. Nels Meister. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Yeah, Meister is German. You see, the thing with names, like I said in the beginning of this conversation, there are no hard and fast rules. If Schwarzenegger, Tarantino can be pronounced. There's nothing stopping you from using your name. It's just that sometimes I think for me, the easier, the shorter, the better. If you can also something easier, maybe. For example, if you say Nelzo, I would say, Nelzo. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nelzo. You know wherever you come in the world, that name easy to pronounce now. But when you say, put your hands together for, imagine they won't give you an award now. The award presenter don't even already have stroke before you pronounce the name. It will be hard, you know. Nels Meister is not a bad name. I just don't know. You know, some people might be lazy. If you have other options, let's see. We can all look at it together for you. That's why we're here. You can have options at it, and we help you look at it and see how it sounds.
Yeah.
I think for a reason.
Yeah. So there's someone else, Uti Okome. She's asking, how can you ensure you keep your intellectual property?
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Uti. You just brought the next thing I was going into to the discussion. So after creating an identity for yourself, maybe a logo. Your logo doesn't have to be like the logo of a BMW. Something simple, maybe just your name, maybe a signature. You know, endeavor to pay a graphic artist, go online, get an identity, a logo, a simple thing. Get a name, register it, open an email in that name, get social media handles in that name, and keep records of everything you're doing, even if it is not paid. Go to your friend's wedding, make hair for us, snap hair, snap the process of you doing it, put it online. Keep record of the activities you are doing, people you have done stuff for. You know, if it's possible, let them write a small review under it. Thank you, she was very good. Those kind of things help your business. We're talking about the business of creativity, making your creativity into a business. Now, I said keep records and keep the data. Everybody you have worked with, places you have gone to work, have a show reel, have samples of your work, even if you are not paid for it. If it was Osho free, do Osho free. That's another thing I wanted to emphasize on. Do Osho free to start off so you can have a body of work. If my cousin they do wedding, go MCM. May your other guy record you. Your cousin no go pay you, but just freestyle, do 10 minutes of recording, don't do. Put them for YouTube. Go to your neighbor's party. Say, I want to crack a joke. Quickly then record you. Put it on Instagram. They don't pay you for the next 3, 4, 20 jobs. They might not pay you, but you are developing your portfolio. The next thing is intellectual property rights. So maybe don't put the best of your work out there for free yet. If you have other works that maybe somebody else's work that you just put a little spin on, or some casual joke that you can let go, or some casual picture or creativity you can put out there that is not in your mind your best. Anyway, there's a general intellectual property law that protects you, and it says you own intellectual property once your idea is published in a medium. I'm going to repeat that. There are probably lawyers listening to us. You own the intellectual property of something original to you once it is published in a medium, either print medium, video format, online, wherever. So once you publish it, well, I've heard people say you can write that idea down, create that logo, take a picture of that bead that you made, that cake that you snap. If it's original and nobody has done that design of cake before, or that design of clothes you have done, snap the picture, email it to yourself. People have said that is also possible. You can go and register the trademark or patent. Okay. Ekwani said I should repeat. I don't know where you want me to repeat, but let me just recap. I said creating a structure to your business. 1, get an identity. 2, have a body of work. By identity, I mean have a look or a name or logo. Register it on an email. Okay, you're talking about intellectual property law. Okay, so have an identity, create a body of work, do pro bono to start with so we have plenty of work that you can show. It's difficult to convince anybody to pay you if they have not seen you do it for somebody before. And the person you did it for before, whether I paid you or not, it doesn't matter as long as you did it for that person and they collected it. Intellectual property, there's a general consideration that once you publish an idea in a medium, it is automatically your intellectual property. For example, if I do a skit on Instagram and I post it, that skit, the idea in it belongs to me. All right? If anybody goes and copies it, word for word, action for action, look for look, I can sue. However, if they change it considerably enough that the judge will believe, this person just tweaked it, they are not exactly the same. The person might be able to escape being sued. But generally, some people also believe if you create something, you can email it to yourself. to show that you created it originally. Hey, thank you, Odi. Odi, are you a lawyer? You know, he said you can also post it to yourself. Okay, he's a lawyer. Probably he's an intellectual property lawyer. Thank you for joining us. Knowledge like yours will help us on this conversation. So you can have it delivered to your address to show that, just something like that. Better still, have a website and post it on that website, host it on that website, on a YouTube page, something like that. It helps. So intellectual property, again, like I said, now let me be careful. This intellectual property thing has slowed a lot of people down. Look, the first few skits I did in my life, I didn't copyright it. I didn't register anything. There are jokes I tweet, all right? That the only thing protecting me is the date on my tweet that I tweeted it. Sometimes you will risk some things because the truth of the matter is people will not or might not engage you unless they have seen what you have been doing or what you've done. And not everything you will do, will be paid for or be registered. I can't possibly register every single one of my jokes or my skits. I can't. Except it's a feature film that I'm taking to cinema or a TV series. You might not be able to register because of the process involved and the cost. You might not be able to register every single creative thing you do. So that is why it's easy to email it to yourself or put it on your registered or created social media account. Where do you register copyright? I think it's part of the CAC. The CAC is.
I think so. I think it's
the Nigerian Copyright Commission, NCC.
Oh, Copyright Commission. Yeah.
There's a Copyright Commission.
Let me see.
Okay. Odi, you said Chambers of Commerce. Okay, I'm not too vast in that. I'm not sure, but I know there's a Copyright Commission you can approach. Now copyright might be different from trademarking. I think CAC does trademarking, if I'm not wrong. So you can trademark, you can copyright. For example, Frank Donga, the comedian, is trademarked. So when you see Frank Donga, you might see TM next to the name. It is trademarked, meaning I'm the only one in Nigeria recognized by law to do business with that name.
We seem to be having a lot of questions now.
Yes, Stephen says, as a filmmaker or content creator, sometimes it's hard to get funds to push out content. But when you try to reach out to collaborators, creators feel you are not serious because of no funds. How do you convince fellows to collaborate on projects with you? Woo! Stephen, the truth of the matter is that it's a global problem for everybody. Steven your namesake, Steven Spielberg, rather, in America, everywhere in the world, collaboration, funding, creativity, it costs money. So you are a fashion designer, you want to collaborate with a model to model your pieces. Or you are a photographer, you want to collaborate with celebrities so they can do their portraits. Or collaborate with a magazine. You want to shoot all the pictures for the magazine, either a food magazine or a travel magazine, or you want to collaborate to show your photography skills. And you don't have money to pay the magazine and you want them to put your work out there. So if you don't have money to bring to the table, I suggest bring other values to the table. Practical example, if I'm a photographer and I want a food channel or a food magazine to feature my photography, I'm a very good food photographer. I take pictures, very delicious looking pictures of food items, snacks, fruits. When you see the pictures of food that I take, you feel like licking the paper or the photograph. That's my specialty, all right? So what do? I don't have money to push myself or push my creativity out there. So what do? Ekwani, I'm answering your question. What I do is I go to a publisher or a magazine and I tell them, look, I have photographs that I would like to share with you. Do you buy? Start from trying to sell to them. Introduce yourself. Send them a link of your website or a link of your WordPress page. WordPress is free. There are so many blogs you can open for free that won't cost you a dime. Just open email address in your professional name and create a WordPress or a blog. Send them a link to your blog. Like every picture that you are taking, watermark it. If you don't know about watermark, go and Google it. I can't teach everything here. Go and Google how to watermark your pictures if you're a photographer. Watermark your picture, put your company name on it or copyright of so and so person owns the picture. Put it and send them a link. to all the collections of your work. Say, these are the pictures I take. I would like to sell pictures to you for your food magazine. Do you buy? If they say we don't buy, then come back again and say, okay, can I give you some pictures, publish it and give me credit? If they say, Omo, we charge for people that we post. Oh, if you want us to give you credit, that means we are marketing you, we are advertising you. You need to pay us. Okay, I don't have money to pay you now. Then ask for their fees. Be very professional and be very tactical. Some of these things people train for it. Communication, digital marketing, and strategy. You need to be educated in that. Know how to talk to people. Offer value for value if you don't have money for value. This is what I'm saying. Go to them and say, okay, I don't have money to pay you to push my creativity. How about you push 2 or 3 pictures of mine, give me full credit, put my phone number under it, my name clearly written on the picture, and tell people to contact me that I snapped the full picture. Put it in your magazine. If it's good enough, they will want it. Now, I will take 3 other pictures for you for free. I'm a photographer. You can send anybody to my studio. I'll take 3 pictures for you for free for the 3 pictures you are posting for me. Offer value for value. Or I will come and snap 2 of your events or 1 event for you this year. Offer value for value. Your friend that's doing a skit, sometimes depending on what the value is, some people just like your brand. They will say, let's collaborate and do this skit. Sometimes it's not because they like you, it's because you fit the character that they need. They will call you, do it. If you are available, do it. Sometimes they want money, you don't have money. What do? Tell them, okay, how about you feature in this skit for me, then I also feature in it for you. Or offer that, why about I invite you to feature in this skit, I take care of your transportation, feeding, I give you a little token.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. There are always ways to collaborate. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
As far as you are dealing with human beings, there must be a way to collaborate. I have an interesting question here. I think it's something that affects a lot of creatives because you have a lot of people, competition, a lot of people doing the same kind of thing that you want to do or that you are doing. So Vera is asking, how does a creative business thrive in a saturated market where there are so many copycats?
Oh my goodness. I don't know where Vera is coming from, but look, as long as you do something that is successful, people are going to copy you. Just live with it. To be honest, sometimes we do copy other people too, or we are inspired, like we like to say. We are inspired by other people too. There's nothing technically or legally wrong in getting inspired by somebody's works. In fact, in music, there's a term for it. They call it sampling. You can sample people's works. Where it becomes a problem is when you lift it like hook, line, and sinker, or whatever other description you want to use. You just lift it.
And don't give credits.
And then you don't even link and say this was inspired by. And then the person starts with legal issues, litigation, I will sue you, you copied me. That's where the problem starts. So if somebody inspires something, give them credit. It was inspired by so-and-so person. People do it a lot on YouTube. I'm doing this video. I first saw it on this person's channel. I put a link to that person's channel under this video. You can check him out. The person will be happy. You are indirectly promoting the person's channel. Or a big shout out to this comedian. I first had this joke from him, but I put a little twist on it. Then crack the joke in your own way. That might be different from, I saw this design on somebody's suit. I copied it and I'm giving you. That might be difficult. If you put your own twist to it and make it obviously different from that person, you might be able to escape. So surviving in a saturated environment is tricky. That is what makes you a champ. That's what makes you unique. Even if you sell pure water. You know how many people started selling pure water? You know how many bottles of water are on the road now? How many sachets of pure water on the road now? There are plenty die. So that constant challenge of being able to hold your ground depends on a lot of things. First of all, if you're already in the business that you are in, hold your clients dearly. That's what starts from how you relate to your clients, client service. If you are rude to your clients, you will lose them. It's only a matter of time. If you don't care about, if you don't extend courtesy to your clients, by that I mean send them a thank you when they pay you. Call them once in a while. I've not heard from you. I'm just checking up on you. Just little interpersonal skills. A lot of us don't have it. If you're a one-man business person, you need to learn interpersonal skills. Communication skills are very important. If you need to pay for it and go for training, go. When people engage me to do skits for them, I will go to see how the skit is doing. And I will tell them if they need to do something. So many of my clients, when I do skits for them, I'll go to them and say, I notice people are asking this question. Please, I think it will be helpful if you go to my page and answer the questions. It makes you look like you are serious about the product and brand. Sometimes I tell you, oh, wow, this person has reposted it. How about you find a little token, a gift to give them? Or, wow, people are really saying nice things about you. Can I give a gift on your behalf to them? I do it. Sometimes I even do it at my own expense without talking to my clients. Add value beyond what your client is giving. Hold your clients, hold them tight. Outside rugged, people are ready to collect your client too, and it's allowed. There's no court case here. It's allowed. If you lose guard, they will collect your client too.
Thank you very much, Mr. Frank. Thank you. I'm sure everybody's enjoying this conversation so far. We are gradually winding down to the climax of today's discussion. You say what? Do or die client? Yeah, it's really amazing customer service, actually. So, Mr. Frank, I want to ask you this one, and I'm sure a lot of people will learn from it. So, you have been in this game for several years, right? What would you say? People always share success stories, right? What are some of the failures you have encountered? What are some of the mistakes that you have made? And then how did you recover? You get. Then knowing what you know now, what are some of those things that you could have avoided, with the experience that you have right now?
Okay. So you had 3 in 1 questions. You had 3 questions. 1, what are my
failures, mistakes?
Yes. Now what would I do differently?
Yeah.
Like that. Okay, first of all, I would say, how do I say this without really coming across as he doesn't want to talk or he doesn't have what to say? I am so blessed that there are very few things I can look back and say I regret in terms of my action or anything. However, I will tell you what I did to make that happen. I think that's better. Because if I don't have things to look back and say, Kai, I regret when I took this step or did this thing or I didn't do that thing. If I don't have that to say, then that means I should be able to say what I did right then. So let me think. If I say I don't think I regret anything so far because I was extremely careful in the way I approached my craft. Don't forget, I have a master's degree in animal genetics. I wanted to start my PhD when entertainment industry called me, and I yielded, and I've been loving it ever since then. So I still do my agriculture, I consult, and I still do entertainment. So I have no regrets. I can't say I came late to the game, but one thing I've been grateful for example, being called to a platform like this to partner with the Enterprise Development Center of Pan-African University. I appreciate you guys so much. Early in the game, I identified what exactly I wanted to do. And I think that's another problem that our young people have. You jump from this concept to that concept from this. You never really stay on something and do it for long enough for people to identify you. I've always said I'm an edutainer. When people ask me, who are you? What do you do? Are you a comedian? Are you an actor? Are you an entertainer? I say, I'm an edutainer. Everything I do, I try to make it informative and make people learn something from it. You will laugh, no doubt, but also you will learn something from it. That's my uniqueness. That might not be everybody's calling, but that's what I've decided to do. Even when I do political satires and parodies and sketches and human angle, whatever, I love to tell stories and teach things with humor. That is me. I mean, sometimes it's not so famous or popular. People just want to do anyhow. There are certain kind of jokes I will never tell. I usually don't tell jokes that under 18 people cannot watch. Meaning I do family grade comedy and I try to do intellectual or educational comedy. Maybe that's one of the reasons why Pan-African University's Enterprise Development Center is comfortable.
Atlantic University.
Atlantic University, sorry. My bros, that was your old name now.
Rebrand.
Rebranding, Pan Atlantic University. Maybe that's one of the things. But one thing I would say or suggest is stay on one lane and do it well. Let people know you for something, Let be recognizable for something. Challenges. I would say maybe I should have taken more risks in terms of expansion. And that was going to be my last point in putting a structure around your creativity, building a business. You have to have an expansion or growth plan. Understand? You have to have a growth plan. Because let me be honest with you, no matter what creativity you are doing, you won't be the hottest one forever. Other people will come after you. That it's not necessarily because you are no longer creative or you are no longer doing it well, or that those people are better than you. It's just because people want something different. They've seen you for a long time. They've gotten to know you for a while. They just want, just the same way you are used to eating beans. You just want plantain to garnish it, or you just want rice instead of beans. That doesn't mean beans has failed. No, at times you just want rice. In fact, rice feel tire you. You just want Gary as it be. But jollof rice will not look and say, how can you be going for Gary when I'm here? I should be taking all the attention. No, it's not. It's hot in the afternoon. It's humid. I'm tired. Gary wins today. Gary wins. Tomorrow now, we can come back to you. But if jollof rice now says, because they ordered Gary in the hot afternoon sun, we're done. So now don't want me again, Abi. No worry. Me too, I will turn to Gary. He said that on Monday. By the time it is Friday and they are looking for party jollof for Saturday, jollof rice has turned to Gary. He will still miss out. Instead of staying where he is and continuing what he's doing. So one thing that has helped me so far is consistency with what I'm doing. It is hard, it is difficult. But I would say maybe I should have, I wanted to do my TV series and do my feature film. Maybe I should have done it earlier than now. Maybe, I don't know if it would have made sense, because I waited. I was trying to wait for the right time. I think I would have done that earlier. If I could go back, I would have done that earlier. But however, going forward, I just think take more risks, try out more things. You can not go wrong. However, let me be quick to caution people that are in the entertainment sector of acting and comedy. There is something called overexposure. It's real. When there's too much of a product in the market, it saturates the market. And what happens when saturation of market comes, or supply is more than demand? What happens to price? Somebody real quick from the comment section. When we give you a gift. No. Okay, price. Okay, fine. You are right. It decreases, it drops, it goes down. Thank you. So when there's excess supply, all right, in the market, there's a tendency that the price or the value will drop. So sometimes you just still, why is Beyonce still much demanded? You don't see her everywhere in every, once she decides to come out like this, everybody says, oh my God, Queen B, go girl. Understand? But other things, you might need to just balance it out. But let me leave you with this. Whatever creativity you are doing, please, I didn't go get this far by just sitting around and doing just any kind of thing and every kind of thing. I put a structure to it. I have a growth plan. This is what I want to do in 2021. This is what I want to achieve in 2022. This is where I want to get to internationally in this, and I begin to work and study towards it. A lot of people don't study about it. I've read about the greatest comedians. I've read about filmmaking, the best comedy films. How much did they gross in Nigeria? How much did they gross in Africa? How much did they gross in the US? I've read about the best comedy lines, different styles and flavors of comedy. I'm still studying about them because I'm working on my feature film and TV series right now, and I don't want it to flop. Whatever creativity you think you have, please get more knowledge about it. You can never go wrong, and that's where a lot of people.
Thank you very much. Final question from me would be: do you have any role models or mentors that guide you in this process, both locally and then abroad? Do you have people you look up to? Because I know right now that there are people who look up to you. They want to do things the way you do and all of that. But do you also have people that you look up to?
I'm very grateful and I'm humble and honored by all the people that look up to me or want to be like me or want to follow in a similar pattern. Thank you all so much for your love and support. It really humbles me. In terms of people that I look up to or people that have inspired me over the years, a lot of people that might not know me directly or personally have inspired what I do. I've studied them remotely. People like Charlie Chaplin, I've watched how he does his slapstick comedy. People like Roe Atkinson, Mr. Bean. In fact, a lot of people have compared me to him. I haven't met him yet. I have not spoken to him. People like Frank Spencer, as Crawford. Mr. Crawford himself inspired me a lot. And also Nigerian comedians, every single Nigerian comedian inspires me. Now, that might look like a patronizing thing to say. It is not, and I mean it. Every single one of them. I've studied how they started, what they are doing, the kind of resources and income they are pulling. How are they doing it? Even though they don't know, I take time to study them. This guy has not collaborated with this brand. He's not doing this. He did this show at this time of the year, then did another one at okay. Even if I'm not doing the same thing, I just generally read about people in my line, in Nigeria and outside. Every one of them, I'm learning one thing or the other from them. So that's as much as I'm doing right now, and I'll still continue to do. Most importantly, I keep your eyes open, learn from everywhere you can learn from. Guess what? Even people not in my line of comedy, even people in business, how are they doing business strategy? Even Pan Atlantic University people, even Auntie Wayne and Mr. I learned from them everything. I learned from them, like how they doing this. For example, we had a brief rehearsal before now. It shows me your attention to detail. I've never had a floor platform before. This is my first time on floor. You guys said you wanted to have this meeting on floor, and we had a little test run. It shows your attention to detail. It was planned. So, guys, if you are watching this, it's not by accident that we just opened this thing fresh today, and we're looking for what to press. These people are smart. These people on my right hand side are smart. They know what they are doing. So I learned from that. So I'm going to do something. Plan, attention to detail. They were my case. Where are you, Mr. Frank? Well, let's go online. It's good. Sorry, I'm saying this. You guys are blushing. Are they blushing? Let me expand this. Are they blushing? They're blushing. But it's good. I learned from that. It happens by accident, except accident itself. That is deep. Let me write it down. Somebody write it down for me. Nothing happens by accident.
Accident itself. Awesome.
I will go and I will frame it. I will copyright it.
Frank Donga, 2021. Yes. Okay. So somebody's already saying it's awesome to see you this serious. I'm sure nobody expected that this would be this way. When we were sharing it, people were commenting, "Is it going to be serious?" I said, "No, we are coming to talk business, so it just has to be serious." Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Frank Donga. And the interesting thing now is we didn't mention your real name all through this, so that just shows what you were saying before, the impact of having a name and, getting people to know you for that name. All right. Thank you so much. I will leave this now to Wayme to round it up, right? Thank you so much, sir. And thank you, Wayme. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, Gray. Thank you, Mr. Frank Donga. You were saying the real name. I thought you would say it. Kunle Idowu.
Nobody cares.
Many people don't know that that's his real name. He even gave himself name and surname. Have you seen that type of thing before? Thank you so much. Thank you. But I put in the chat box. People have been asking me, who is Baby Landlord? Who is he? That character.
Funny enough, Baby Landlord is the character we created, my team and I. It's actually my manager's idea. That name, Baby Landlord, was my manager's idea. So I was born out of the fact that, again, entertainment. I wanted to I was looking for how to make a series of skits that would be very simple. You don't need crowd. It's just camera staying in one position, and we'll talk about what happens in the compound. No manians in your compound. Everybody has a compound like that at one time or the other. And there's always one bros or one auntie when they go work. Now they see everything where they happen. Now you know who come late. Now you know who come out. Now you know who can come pick. Now you know who bring person. Just say. And that was just inspiration. And guess what? Instead of having somebody else being the antagonist, I decided maybe a little child. And this child would be my nemesis, always correcting my grammar. So the focus was to correct common wrong expressions in English grammar and vocabulary in Nigeria using that little child. And that's what we did. And I'm excited people like.
Thank you. We really appreciate you for your time and efforts. Thank you so much. And we hope that when we invite you again, you will turn up for us. Everyone, please sign up for the Transforming Nigerian Youth Program. I've put it in the chat box. I don't know if Frank wants to just say something about it before we wrap up.
Yes. So you guys have been hearing me on my Instagram live talking about Transforming Nigerian Youth. The agenda is to have 40,000 youths empowered. That's huge. And you don't generally see me hype things things like this if I haven't. The while I gave Auntie Waime and the crew when they reached out and said, we are doing something. I said, first of all, I've heard about Pan Atlantic University for a while. I think they're doing a lot of amazing work when it comes to education, especially postgraduate education and entrepreneurship. And I checked this program out, and she sent me what they're planning and all that. And I was just amazed. Like, they are so passionate. Forget what the school or the department is doing. They themselves, they are passionate that people are skillful. And you know why I like this program? I've had a lot of people come to me and say, bros, please, I need small fund. Now, fund is my problem. Nigerian youths, now capital, that would be our problem. Now that capital, now it be our problem every time. The guy came to me and said, I need capital for snail farming. And I said, snail farming, beautiful. I'm an agriculturist myself. Simple question. What do you know about snail farming? Alaye could not convince me. How many snails have you bred before? He said he get one brother where they go visit, where they keep snail. Where they go visit. Okay, how long have you done it? He said, we've been at it for a couple of months now. You've been with somebody for a couple of months. Not that you off your shirt to help him clean the snail farm and arrange the snails and feed them. I said, bro, let me be honest with you. Even if I steal money, I can't give you for this project because you will ruin it to learn for the first 1 or 2 seasons. I said, go back to this bros. Volunteer to work on that snail farm. Do it for 2 seasons, meaning 1 dry season at least and 1 rainy season, or 2 dry seasons and 2 rainy seasons. So you will know what snails go through during rainy season and during dry season and how it affects everything around them. And that is the reason why I'm projecting the Transforming Nigeria Youth program. The link is right there in the discussion panel. You can click it if you are 18 to 35 years of age. They are going to take you through. I've seen the curriculum myself. I've been at the lecture. I've been there. I've checked the portal. They'll tell you about team building, tell you about what you need to look out for in entrepreneurship, how to structure, all the things we have talked about today. You will get more in-depth knowledge. Transforming Nigerian youth on the enterprise development EDC. The EDC.
Yeah, so I wanted to just say we have other programs, and I'm surprised the person actually talking about the age range is doing a free program called Road to Growth. So we have so many programs at the Enterprise Development Center. All you need to do is visit our website, www.edc.edu.ng. We have some that are just for women, no age barrier. We have this one that is specially for the youth because Nigerian youths are the leaders of tomorrow. And we've been hearing this from time, but now we're serious about making sure that youths are truly the leaders of tomorrow. In fact, from today, that's why we're bringing this and focusing on the youth for now. But notwithstanding, we have so many programs that you can take part in. So please visit www.edc.edu.ng. We have the one for women, we have the one for both women and men, and we have the one for specifically for youth, which is the Transforming Nigerian Youth Program. So please visit www.edc.edu.ng to take part. Thank you so much, Mr. Frank. And thank you very much, all of you, for joining. I'm so glad that we were able to have this discussion on the business of creativity. I hope that when we invite you for something else, you make yourself available. Thank you once again, and have a beautiful time.
And thank you. Thank you to all the team at Enterprise Development Center. Thank you to Pan Atlantic University. Thank you to EDC again once more. I really appreciate you. Thank you for identifying that edutainment part of me and people like me and utilizing it. I hope we get to do more beyond Transforming Nigerian Youth. And thank you to the 209 people that I'm seeing online and the 508 people that have liked this conversation. Some people are saying they never knew I could be this serious. Once in a while, if I'm not doing comedy, trust me, I'm reading or thinking about research in genetics, or reading about coronavirus and research for vaccines, or reading about this and that. There's a whole lot more to me. So thank you guys for supporting me, for supporting the Frank Donga brand, and go to the EDC website, check out all their programs. You guys that are asking me to use my influence to beg them, I don't need to. They already know and they are doing it. There are programs for 35 and above. Ask them on their platform. These 2 people that are beside me looking at me here, or looking at you, send them a message. Go to the email. They will answer you. Check out the programs that you fit in. Let me tell you one thing that they didn't tell you yet, but I'm sure you will see on the website. If you go through the Enterprise Development Center's Transforming Nigerian Youth Program, that's Transforming Nigerian Youth Program. If you qualify, you go through it. At the end of it all, opportunity there to fund your idea, your business idea. There's opportunity. They are not just training you to pour you into the gutter. They will connect you to where you get funding. All this capital, state and capital is my problem. Capital, they will hook you up with funding. I'm not even joking. These people, they're just disguising. They pay NYSC people 500K. They pay them. If you need capital and you are ready to go through training that you won't make you waste capital, go through them. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So have a great day, all of you. Thank you so much for joining. We hope to see you apply for all our programs and trainings, and also joining on other webinars that you have that we have. All right, Graham, any last words?
No, thank you very much for staying with us from 10 a.m. till this time. We originally planned this for 1 hour, but it was very engaging. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining, and have a great day. Thank you, Mr. Frank.
And for me, Oscar Prado, over and out.
Over and out, copied.
Where did the logger? I'm going to call control spoiler.
Press the red button. You will see exit.
Is this red? This is not wine. It's red. Wine, not red.
Red body plenty here.
Now red, now wine. Not be red in my own. Baby landlord, go back.